Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm super excited for you to be here. What I want to tell you today is I have been working. Okay, what I want to tell you today is a Bakasana crow tutorial. So I've been looking at some of the videos that were popular, and it seems that many of you like the how-to tutorials, sequence building, prep for kind of thing. So we are going to do a crow tutorial. So what you're going to need today is a couple of blocks and your yoga mat. Go ahead, pause this, come back with your blocks. You do need something to raise the floor. If you do not have something to raise the floor, that's cool. You can actually let's start again. I don't like that. Okay. Hey, friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I have been checking out all the things that I've been sharing with you. And one of the videos that people really liked was the how-to video, how to get into, I don't even remember. Oh, I think it was camel, how to get into Ustrasana, camel pose. So I thought I would do another tutorial. Today is going to be an arm balance. It's going to be crow. I'm going to give you a little sequence to prepare the body, and then I'm going to give you a couple of tutorials or props that you can use to help practice this pose. You're going to need a couple of blocks. You might actually also want a pillow. That's going to be your crash pad so that you don't face plant into the ground. So this is just a quick tutorial. I'm going to do a couple of poses that get us ready. So if you're a teacher here, this is a really good warm up that you can incorporate into your class. Your apex pose would be Bakasana or crow. You might set a theme like strength, a theme of balance. We're stronger than we think. If you're following me here for a while, you know I love the themes inside my classes. It's just an extra layer. It often represents life. So if we can practice some strengthening poses right here on our mat when we get out in the world, we can be strong. So let's come down to your hands and your knees. And we're just going to do a little bit of wrist stretches. So I want you to rotate your fingers facing your knees. If this is really hard on your wrists, you can do one at a time, right? Forearms get really tight. This is really tight for me right here. So you decide. Now you want to keep the heel of your hands down. Let's just start to move. I don't want you to overthink it. We are going to prepare the body. So when I think of a pose like crow pose or Bakasana, I want you to think about like what are the things that need to warm up? Well, the wrists, because you are weight bearing, it's an arm balance. Core needs to be nice and strong. Hip flexors need to be nice and open, right? We need to be able to get our knees into our hips. So we're going to do a little bit of all of those things, and then I'm going to give you some options. Okay, sit back on your heels, just shake out your wrists. And then interlace your fingers, palms together, and just start to add a little bit of movement. I'm doing like a infinity sign. I want you to go the other way. That takes a little bit of mind work. Okay, shake it out. Come back onto your hands and your knees. Set your knees underneath your hips. Have your hands slightly ahead of your shoulders so that your wrist is not under your shoulder's back. Draw the belly in towards your spine, lengthen your tailbone, curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Go ahead, pedal out the feet. So straighten your right leg, push the heel back, and then lift and spread your toes. You're going to get it right in your calf. Oh, that's tight. Okay, second side. Left leg straight, bend your right knee. Draw the top of your left thigh bone back. Draw the top. back, push into your hands, lift and spread your toes. Whew, that is tight business. Okay, come back to center. Step your right foot forward, come down on your knee, lean over to your left hand, and then inhale, right arm up. Wrap your left side under, drop your hip. You can uncurl your back toes. Lean into your hand, so weight bearing on your left hand. Notice how that feels. And then come to the inside. Now, blocks are handy here. You can make your way down onto your forearms. And if you need to raise the floor, you can use your blocks. So get off your hands for a moment. Point your right toes out and just roll to the outer edge of your foot. So you're like opening the knee. Now I want you to make sure you're not collapsing in the ankle. So you're going to karate chop the outer edge of your right foot. That's like technical yoga terms. Karate chop. Yeah, do that. Lift and spread your toes. Notice how it feels. Big external rotation of your hip. And then slowly come up. Blocks might come in handy to keep the floor lifted. I know my hamstrings are really tight. Curl the back toes under, lift the hip up, straighten the front leg. Don't worry about getting your back heel down, but lift your toes. Yeah, that's fun. Bend the knee, step forward, and fold. Okay. Other side, right leg back. Come down on your back knee. Lean into your right hand, so weight bearing. We're just practicing a little bit of weight bearing. Drop your hips. Reach the arm. Oh. You can uncurl your back toes. You got it. Can you see the wind out there? Okay, hand to the inside. Heel toe your foot out. I like to curl my back toes under again. Rotate over to the outer edge of your left foot so the knee comes out. You're going to need space to drop the shoulder, but if you want to raise the floor, get off your wrists for a moment. Beautiful. So there's a number of ways that we can kind of tackle this pose. If you've never done this before, stay with me. You get up. Okay. Come back up. Toes come forward. Raise the floor. Lift the back knee up. Shift the weight. Dig your heel into the earth. Lift your toes. Push the mound of the big toe forward. Draw the baby toe side back. Oh, yeah, baby. Okay, step forward. Move all your stuff away. Come down on your back. So we're going to turn this pose upside down so it's not weight bearing. And what I want to say is if you've landed here and you're like, I really want to work on this pose, but I don't know if I'm going to get up just yet, then I want you to stay here and practice it here on our backs where you're not going to fall, where there's no weight bearing on your wrists. So you're going to bring the inner edges of your feet together. This is important. And I want you to squeeze the inner edges of the feet together and move the knees apart. Let me take an angle here. And then bring the arms up to the inside of the knees and then flex your wrist. This is Bakasana on our backs. Now, it's not quite engaged. So what I want you to do is inhale, push the palm towards the ceiling so the shoulder blades come off the back and then come back on the back. So it's like you're protracting and retracting just to warm up the shoulders for a moment without any weight. On your next inhalation, you're going to inhale, take the shoulder blades off the back, lift the pelvis a little bit, like tuck the tailbone, draw your knees as high into the upper arms as possible. This is the position of the pose. And then exhale, lower down. Now, you probably felt your core fire up. That's where we're going. So arms up again. Inhale, lift. Lift the pelvis and the head and the neck, the shoulders. Get your knees as high into the upper arms and then lower. We're going to do 5 more. Inhale, reach the palms up. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale. 3 more. Keep going. Now, if you're like, this is where I get off the bus, you can just practice till here. 1 more. Otherwise, we're going to flip it over. Lift. And then lower. Can you feel that in your core? Maybe even a little bit in your hip flexors and shoulders, right? Okay, we're going to flip it over. Now, one of the biggest conversations that I have with students and teachers is people feel like they don't have enough strength. People feel like they're going to fall on their head. And people feel like they can't get their hips up. It is windy business, that they can't get their hips up. So what I want you to do is use a block, and we're actually going to put it under the soles of our feet, right here. So you're going to come onto the block. You're going to bring the inner edges of your feet together right away. Now, it's the hugging in component that actually helps the hips come up. So a lot of times I'll see people will muscle their way through it. But if you're here and you're like, I don't have the muscle to push through it, this is more integrative. So I really like this. Keeping your inner edges of your feet together. Let's not be attached to whether you take flight or not, but just that the inner edges keep pushing together. And then you're going to set your hands. I would go a little bit wider than my shoulders, especially if your shoulders are tight. Here's the crash pad. Now, when I say lift your hips are going to come way up because you're on a block. So lift your hips up and get your knees as high into the upper arms. This is the form when we were on our backs. Keep pushing the inner edges of your feet together. Keep pushing them together and see if it takes flight. Work your fingertips, draw the belly in, take the shoulder blades off the back. 1 more breath, and then slowly release. Did you take flight? Okay, I want to show you one other variation, and then you can practice. You don't need me to keep doing it. The other variation is hands on blocks. Now, this can feel a little scary because you're further away from the floor, but have a crash pad. You'll be okay, I promise. Now, if you're here and you can't get your knees as high into your armpits, this might be where you want to stay, or you might want to do some more hip flexor work if you're not super open. Keep working at it. Keep coming back to this. That's why it's so nice to have the recordings. Now, if you like, bring your hands onto the blocks. The other thing is, I think it's easier on the wrists. That's just my opinion. I don't know that for sure. But you're going to come into the same position, hands on the blocks this time, and feet together. Lift the heels up. Take the knees as wide apart as you can. Bring your hands onto the block. Get your hips up and get your knees into the armpits or onto the triceps. Keep squeezing the inner edges of your feet together and see if you take flight. Now, I know someone's going to ask, where should I be staring? Slightly ahead of your hands. Work your feet, though, and then slowly come down. That's all I got, friends. Thank you. Leave a comment. Make sure to hit subscribe so you get notifications of when I post something. And also, if you want more tutorials, more embodied wisdom, make sure to join my online studio called The Studio. Nothing fancy, The Studio membership for just $33 a month. $33. That's like 2 classes, and then you're done. You get $33 a month. You get 4 live classes a week. You get a monthly live breath work and a shitload of on-demand. Thank you, and I will see you soon. Keep practicing. Keep going. Get your knees up. You got this. Don't be afraid to fall.